You want a sense of relief, you know? So, don't do that. So yeah, this time around, I am trying to combine all of the sort of methods together. And what I wrote down is sort of a pyramid, starting with having a clear goal that's what you actually want, like, or even what you actually need. But don't lie to yourself. You don't actually want money, you know. You just want to feel okay. You don't. You might not. In my case, I don't actually want a full-time job. I just want a sense of stability, you know. So try to look under what you think you want for what you actually want. You know, try to discover and call out those false desires. So step one, have a clear goal that's like really what you actually want. um, two is to work on believing that you deserve it and that you're capable of achieving it. I guess if you were like, I want to manifest being president, that might be a bit of a leap if you're not in politics yet. You know, start with smaller goals. Push yourself, like, definitely ask for a little more than you think you can achieve, and that'll, you know, that tends to psychologically push you to move past where you would if you made like a smaller goal. But definitely keep it within the scope of reality, and try to let go of your shame around that. I'm telling you this. I feel like I know it to be true without really having completely succeeded in that, but I'm working on it right now. So that's two. Three, I think it is really important to visualize achieving the result, and really feel what it would feel like to have what you want. The way people talk about that is like, what are you wearing? What do you smell? What are you eating? Who are you hanging out with? What do you do every day? You know, like, what does it really feel like? Like, put yourself in a scene, basically. And I'm personally going to try to, I wrote something for that, like a one-page vision, basically. It's a one-page story, and I want to try to read it every day, at least for the next 2 weeks, just to try to keep that in my head. I think other people would phrase it as to align your vibration, align your vibration to the thing you want by feeling like you already have achieved it. In my head, that really just means like your brain is already in the right space of confidence and the right space of gratitude and abundance, you know. So you're gonna perform optimally. You're gonna act like you deserve to have it, and you're not gonna be hindered by a sense of being inadequate. So 3 is visualize and feel. 4, take concrete actions. If you don't know what it takes to achieve your goals, the manifestation is going to be hard, I think. And that's a big problem when you're like trying to change careers or something and you don't really know what you want to do yet, or you do and you don't really know how to get there. I think if there's a research phase for that, you know, like, definitely take the time to figure out, fucking talk to people, research other people's lives, even if you've never met them. Just do anything you can to get a list of concrete goals that's a map to where you want to go. 4, action. 5, trust in the process. I think that goes along with like believing that you can achieve it and believing you deserve it, but just not getting frustrated too soon, trusting that shit's in the works, and you know, again, people will say the universe has your back, and it might take a while for it to deliver or whatever, but it'll happen. I will rephrase that to say, like, your brain is changing. Your brain is physically changing based on the words that you think and the thoughts that you think, and you know, opportunities are going to become more obvious. Shit's going to change. You're going to change, and as long as you keep holding on to that goal, it's going to be more and more likely that you're going to achieve it. So, yeah, that's my ramble. We've been listening to, if you've heard the background music at all, Devils Hunt Me Down, a band from Seattle that I like to call the dance bang genre, because you can dance and headbang at the same time. And frankly, you really can't do one without the other with this band, and you can't not do either, because then you would be a heartless, soulless person. They're really great. You should look them up. Anything else to say? Hal, you got anything to add? No? Yeah, I love you. Oh, who's the cutest? Who's the cutest? Look at this motherfucker. Yeah, so I decided to hold on to her for a little while. Maybe we'll stay together forever, huh, baby? Alright, well, this is me just being real and, you know, potentially useful, potentially not, I don't know, but I feel better, so that's great. And I really genuinely hope that at least something in there was useful to you. And for those of you that have been following me at all, I'm really honored. I mean that. Like, it's so weird being validated for just kind of being real and pushing myself a bit, and that means a lot, and it has nearly literally saved my life quite a few times now, so thank you. And I hope you have a good day. Love you. Bye bye. Hey guys, how are you? I thought I'd make another video today along the same lines as the last one, sort of a rambling diary situation that seemed to kind of unblock me, so I thought I'd just do it again and see how it goes. Since the last post, the half-hour ramble, some pretty intense downs and ups, actually. It's only been not even a week since that, I think. A couple days ago I woke up to a text from my band's guitarist, who is not been around all that long, 6 months maybe? Maybe really just 4, something like that. No. Less. Anyway, I don't know how long he's been around. So, anyway, he quit via text. You can't text message breakup, man. So I woke up to that text, which just sucks for so many reasons, because we've lost enough guitarists that I think we're all just kind of sick of it, and I had a feeling that that didn't bode well for the band staying together at all. And then later on that day I got an email from my recruiters saying that the job that I had been really holding out for and like completely fucking off other opportunities for didn't want me. So that was a more than a few blows to my sense of self-worth and all that, and hope that shit was just going to start panning out for me. So I got kind of dark for a few days there. I did a lot of crying, had a lot of like fuck it thoughts. Although I gotta admit, I kind of went to like a numb space really quickly. I feel like I did that a lot like in high school, because I was just so like emotionally overburdened by teenage hormones and whatever fucking mess I created of my life at that point. You know, there's a point at which you're just like, fuck it! Fine. Just fine. And, you know, until that moment I was just like, everything's awful, what's the point of any of this? Ugh, I'm the worst, life is the worst, which is also very teenagery, but this happens in adulthood sometimes, apparently, too. So, yeah, I was feeling the weight of everything until I just decided to go, do not care. Kind of an interesting, put me in a bit of an interesting mood for a couple days. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, or kind of where I was at yesterday. Today I went to see my life coach, and I gotta admit, it's not necessarily something I should be spending money on right now, but she really kind of set me straight, and I'm really, really grateful for what we went through today in session. And she basically helped me sort through what hasn't been working in my attempts to sort out my life / general manifestation practices, specifically about work, and helped put me on a path to hyper focus on what I need to do next. Which is interesting, like, in a way, like, I would have probably, I knew what I had to do, so leaving with the homework that I had wasn't really a shocker, but I left with a clarity around it that I don't know that I would have gotten myself so quickly or so thoroughly. So yeah, I just basically decided that, I don't know if you saw the last video, but there's been a lot of back and forth about, like, should I stay with contracting so that I can be more flexible and, like, work towards the life that I want to live, which is more flexible, and giving me the time to sort of work on whatever I need to work on in order to change careers. I want to be more artistic, spend more time doing things that I love and less time doing things that I feel drain me, you know. Should I go that route? You know, the contracting sort of like creates a base for that lifestyle, or should I go back to full time and just sort of, you know, put the time in and try to sort my finances out? And I've just been slingshotting. I've been fucking whiplash back and forth, like, I definitely need to do this. No, I definitely need to do that. Blah, 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 you know, and I've been completely at the mercy of whatever opportunities are in front of me at the time, rather than sort of using my own compass to guide me in terms of either what I think I want or what I think I need. And now I'm actually taking a little bit of a leap of faith, because she convinced me to not go back to, not go to, like, crazy what's your ideal eventual goal, but she basically convinced me to focus on what I actually want, and what's feasible, you know. So I'm taking a bit of a leap of faith, and I'm looking for, I decided that I'm looking for my ideal now job, which is basically a part-time contracting gig, but long-term, which is it's what I've had pretty much for the past decade, consistently every year or two. Just kind of falls in my lap. I haven't been able to find it this time around, but it is actually quite, I don't know if it's rare, it just seems like it's rare. It's not enough hours for full time, and it's too many hours, or too long term for contracting, so it's kind of, anyway, if you know anybody who wants me to work 30 hours a week for them for the next year and a half or so, let me know. But yeah, so it was very much like I was slingshotting myself between two different options that I didn't really want, honestly. Like, I don't really want the instability of contracting, and I don't really want the overwhelm of full-time in the tech industry. Everybody works fucking 80 hours a week, so it's still hard to admit this. Like, I have to work on the whole, I have a right to want this, you know, I have a right to ask for it in the world thing. But yeah, anyway, so she has me working on that specifically for the next 2 weeks until her next session, and I don't know, it felt really hopeful walking out of that office today. So I'm relieved about that. And yeah, I wanna talk about some of the things that I noticed that I was doing wrong. And there's like articles all over the internet about how to manifest and the law of attraction and all that shit. And you know, there's people that take it on in a very spiritual, kind of metaphysical, mysterious way, and I think there's lesser people that take it on in a very scientific way. And I mean, as I explained in my last video, I still feel like there's like a 5 or 10% sort of mystical aspect to the thing. But I don't know, I think there's a reason for everything, even if we don't know what it is yet and can't describe it or hold it in our hands. And largely, I think this is, you know, manifestation is a psychological experiment. So my story last time was, I don't even know how much I went into this, but I lost the perfect job, and then immediately started trying to manifest a new one of the same kind. And in a way, I think I felt at the time that I was putting the work in and nothing was happening, or I was putting the work in, I wasn't getting what I wanted. But in hindsight, I wasn't putting the work in, and I was getting what I was asking for, but I wasn't asking for what I wanted in a way. So what I learned about myself, what I was doing wrong was, and what I've been doing wrong on and off, like I've tried a bunch of different things over the past couple months, and it feels like failure, but it's actually working. It's just not what I want. So most recently I was visualizing and asking for something very vague. You know, I basically said, I need money. Please, universe, give me money, you know, make money available to me. Make an opportunity for money available to me. And I think what's wrong with that is that you will get opportunities to make money, but they might not serve your passion, and they might not they might not even align with your values. I had a potential to work at a really big porn company doing web design, and honestly, it was a great fucking job. It was what I wanted in a lot of different ways. It was full time, except for that. But you know, it was porn, and like I have no problem with porn. I am you know, potential to work at a really big porn company doing web design, and honestly, it was a great fucking job. It was what I wanted in a lot of different ways. It was full time, except for that. But you know, it was porn, and like I have no problem with porn. I am you know, I have some feminist leanings, and you know, when you go to the site that you're supposed to be working on, and it says, "Watch these 5 dudes destroy this teenage bitch," literally, like, quote unquote, I'm kind of just like, eh. And because I was so desperate to get a full-time job and to get money, I convinced myself that I really wanted the job. And now that's an interesting mental trick that I did to myself. Like, I think I probably would have been fine and happy there, but it's not really what I wanted, you know? So I was asking for money. I was asking the universe for money, and then I was asking the universe for work of pretty much like any kind. And offers did come to me, and honestly, I completely fucked up a couple of really great opportunities. But they were opportunities that they weren't for me. Like, they were looking for someone who was like truly devoted to their career, someone who wanted to stick with the company for 5 or 10 years, someone who wanted to climb a career ladder. Like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. That's not me, you know, and it would have been ingenuous of me to pursue those jobs anyway, and I would have felt bad. Like, I didn't mind lying when I was younger, because they didn't expect so much from you when you're younger in the career path or whatever. But at this point, like 10 or more years in, I'm kind of like, that's, you know, people would be relying on me to be very ambitious, and I'm just not. I want to do a good job. I want to work on good projects, and I'm fucking talented. You know, I can handle it, but, you know, if I'm not like, yeah, stock options, you know, they're like, oh, she's not one of us. Who is this? Narc? Anyway, so, wow, my arm looks really big. I'm not gonna sit like that. Hi, honey. You gonna help me talk? So, you'll read this in a lot of different places. One of the things I did wrong was asking for something vague, work and money. Another thing I did wrong was asking for something I didn't want, full-time work. Honestly, I still might have to go for that if this doesn't pan out, but I mean, that's not what I wanted. It's what I thought I needed because I was freaking out about money, you know? And I still should be, really, but anyway, vagueness, something you don't want, like not being true to yourself. You're not going to manifest well if you're not being true to yourself. The shit will come, but it's not going to be what you want, and you're going to, I don't know, maybe you'll fuck it up on purpose, self-sabotage, or you'll avoid it, or you'll take it on and then be miserable, whatever. So don't manifest shit you don't want. What is that? What is that? And in the same story, it's vague, something I didn't want. Ugh, my brain just went away. I'll think of it later. something I think I was doing really early on was visualizing like crazy and trying to manifest by just thinking about things and doing the writing and doing the dreaming part of it, doing the mental part of it, but not actually taking any action. I think I was actually pretty lazy in looking for work in the first month. Well, in the first like 3 or so weeks. Whatever, shut up, Iris. And yeah, like, it's not magic, man. I mean, in a way, it feels like it because it seems mysterious and it seems odd, like creepy and all that, but it's science, and you have to actually put the work in. So if you're asking for a job to land in your lap and you're not looking for it and you're not putting yourself out there, then you're really not doing your manifestation any favors. So that's another thing I was doing. Visualization but no action. I was also later on taking a lot of action, but I was taking a lot of action without feeling like I deserved what I really wanted. So I was kind of asking for like, you know, like, please just give me a job, anybody give me a job. And I was getting a lot of interest, but I didn't feel like I deserved to ask for what I actually wanted, so I didn't get it, you know? Believing that you have a right to the things that you want, without feeling shame about it and without, I mean, with confidence, you know? Ask for it with confidence. I think, oh right, so false desires, that's another thing. Like when I was talking about, I was asking for money, like, you know, please universe, just give me money, I need money. I was freaking out, like that's a request out of like desperation and fear. It's not a request out of passion and you know, positive energy.